Alright, ready? Three, two, one, go. Hey guys, mometaijankguy bringing you a brand new video. I haven't uploaded in a while, but we have a really special one here. It's going to be with my friend Miguel. He just won Pasadena 2025 regionals. Was what deck were you playing?
I was on Blue Green Imperial.
Yes, sir. That is proof right there that they hit the wrong card. Um, they
Absolutely.
they should have hit the tamer. Hey,
No.
after watching, hit the tamer or they hit the level fours they give you for memory. That's
No.
ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
After playing the whole weekend, I know exactly what they should have hit. They
What?
should have hit the level 5.
Oh no, no, 100%. Yeah, that too. Like, I mean, like, there's so many cards in the deck to hit. Um, so like,
It depends on what you want to do with it, in my opinion. If you want to kill the deck, you kill the tamer. Like, you put the tamer to 1. Like, if you just want the
mhm.
deck to just no longer exist. If you want the deck to still kind of be around, you hit the 5 and you just make a new one. Or you just make them play the old stuff. The old stuff ain't that great. So I would like to see a new pale before they hit the old pale.
No, okay, okay. So
Yeah.
we're gonna get into his deck profile. If you guys have already seen, I think Eggman has it. He all of top eight, all the deck lists are already out, so you can go out and watch them. But let's go through your deck. I'll probably go your deck and let's see how
Yeah.
the decisions for what you ran in your deck.
Yeah. Well, since this list is out, we'll speedrun most of it. We are playing for BT12 Demi V. Uh,
Why that egg? Because I haven't seen a lot of players use that egg. I know it's good for the draw. If you have a green digit, you get to draw one, right?
it's if you're going to run, you draw one. I like the draw one more than the 1K DP. More often than not, I'm not going to swing over bodies. I'm just going to keep swinging at security. That's how I play, at least. I would rather swing over 4s, and if they ace me, to try to deal with my stack, and it's like, okay, cool, you're gonna swing into me. You're probably gonna die in the process and give me 3 memory. Yeah, you deal with my stack, but you probably gave me enough resources where I can just drop a tamer and set up for next turn.
Yeah, and also like getting that 1K off that Vima doesn't really matter because you're gonna have jamming because you're not trying to swing at their bodies, and if you do, you're most
Mm-hmm.
likely bigger than them at that point because the level 5 comes
Mm-hmm.
out so quick.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
yeah, all right, continue.
Yeah, and even if there's like a threat level 6 ace, it's like, okay, cool, you're suspended. You do this, you still don't unsuspend in your turn.
Hmm.
Like I just wait a turn, I make another stack. And then from the rest of it, it's pretty straightforward. 4 BT12 VMons, 4 BT12 Wormons. It's the heart and soul of the deck. You search, you keep adding your tamers, you keep adding your pieces that you're missing. You really can't go wrong there. I am playing 3 of the promo VMon. I had a list where this was at 4. It's not bad at 4. The draw inheritable is really nice and honestly was the best inheritable the entire weekend.
Because it's not once per turn, right?
It's not once per turn.
Yeah, that's like.
This is stupid. This is so
Oh
stupid
my god,
because
like.
I had multiple stacks throughout the day where it's Vmon over the egg, play out a Vmon over Daiken, evil for 1 because I have a tamer, tap
Hmm.
the Daiken because I don't care about the source strip, evil again, and then keep turn DNA, swing, draw 4, unsuspend, swing again, draw 3. It's like, okay, cool, I drew 7 cards. There's no way I don't have
It's
pieces.
ridiculous. Yeah, like.
It's but I at 4 of it can sometimes feel like a brick because if you don't have a way of DNA on your turn, it,
No,
it does hurt.
yeah, no, I can feel that because like, because like, sure, like you play for free off of Ken Davis, but it doesn't give you anything compared to the searcher. Where it's
Mm-hmm.
like I get to play this and then search and
Mm-hmm.
add more stuff, yada, yada. And also,
Yeah,
it doesn't have end of turn DNA.
yeah. If you
Did
have
that ever come up?
ways,
Where like you had 2 stacks, they were both VMons, but you couldn't end of turn DNA for the turning?
I think there were multiple occasions where that did happen, where it's like, oh, I'm just gonna go into the back, and then I'll go into the back with the end of turn DNA, and then on the following turn, if I have a Davis out and I'm at 3 memory, I'll just play this out, Evo for 1, and end of turn DNA.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, cool, I keep turn, I'm back at 1 memory, I get to swing, and I get to draw at least 2. Like, this deck wants to draw. And unfortunately, one of my rounds, the draws almost did cost me the game. But we could talk about the rounds in a little bit before we finish this up.
Yeah, you're good.
Um, Yeah, so I am playing one BT16 Wormmon, evoing from trash, and being able to recur the 4s that I'm missing came up a lot, especially with promo VMon being able to just evo for free at that point.
Oh
So being
yeah,
able
because
to do
that's
all that.
basically that Vmon, right? Because you play off of
Yeah.
Ken Davis and you evo for one still. Oh yeah, that's still really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And so yeah, so evo for one, and then if it's the VMon, you evo for free, and it's like, all right,
Hmm.
cool, And then if you have like a stack that got partitioned, you DNA, and you keep this Wormmon, you let it go back, because being able to constantly
Hmm.
recur the sources from trash is incredibly valuable. I am playing one promo Wormmon. This used to be a 2 of. Um, it's nice to have in the back because it is arguably your worst searcher, but it is also your funniest searcher because it is a 2-color green card and a tamer with Ken in its name. So it does add Daiken. You see a Davis, you are sad, but it's also funny when you get to say, "Cool, I'm gonna add this medieval gallant I just searched."
Was there ever a time where like it whiffed because it can't pick up the force?
Yeah, no, there are so many times where with because most of the time it's like I need the end of turn DNA, I'm gonna play it out, and so it's like okay, cool, I hit nothing. It
That's funny.
sucks, but it does come up on occasion. I don't think I did the effect to add the option, the return of progenitor. I think I did add a medieval gallant and I did add pales off this, but most of the time it was a miss. So I never tried to play this out actively unless I had to keep turn or something.
Okay, okay.
And then for the 4s, pretty standard lineup. A
Broken.
BT12 XVmon, a
Broken.
BT12 Stingmon. I mean, to be fair, most Asian lists were running this as a 0, and they were playing 4 of the starter deck Stingmon because they value the draw that much.
That's wild.
Yeah, that was wild to me when I saw the hit and I did the research on it. I'm like, oh, that makes sense because I always play these at 4.
No, yeah,
I love
100%.
the memory.
Like it's
Yeah.
just like it's like even if you don't have like a rookie, like just hard slamming it for four sometimes.
Yep.
Because even if you have
And
like
that came up.
what happened?
That came up so many times. Like
Yeah,
just
yeah, like it's so free. You're like, oh no, I dropped it
Mhm.
for four. All right, gain back five memory and
Yeah.
DNA. And it's like
If
okay,
a single Ken Davis with a rookie and with a level 4 in the back is free at that point. You
that's
just
three.
go
Yeah,
up.
that's three memory. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. If you didn't have, there were a couple of games where I didn't have a Ken Davis and I still hard played it just to pass turn at 1. But I would go into BC16 Pailjamon and it'd be like, all right, cool. I don't swing, but your board doesn't do anything,
Yeah.
and you don't have an egg in the back. So, you know, sometimes it sucked, but most of the time it's like, all right, cool. I'm just doing this to develop a board. I'm doing this to maintain control.
Okay, okay.
I am playing one of the EX1 Stingmon.
I hate that
So
card.
from
It's
XP1.
it's free real estate.
It is such free real estate. Sometimes it does suck because sometimes I didn't have to hard play this, but sometimes in previous like tournaments and practice, I would be hard slamming this for 5 just so I could do an end of turn
Yeah.
DNA. But this card is busted early. Being able to swing DNA, swing 2 more times means that on the crackback you can go up a line, swing twice, and then go dragon mode for game.
Yeah, this is really good.
Yeah. Rest in peace, my sweet prince. We hardly knew ye.
This hit didn't matter.
This hit didn't matter, but it also did because, funny enough, this was the card that I'd be actively searching for at so many points because the card draw is kind of nuts, and sometimes you really don't want the piercing because if you swing
Oh, you hit a
into
bomb, yeah.
Styria board, you could hit a tamer. You don't really care about hitting a bomb because if you have partition, you're like,
Oh
okay,
yeah, you
cool,
just do it again. Yeah, it's just free memory. Yeah.
yeah, it's free memory. You get to do it again. More checks. It's great, but sometimes you want to pump the brakes. You want to go for game. You don't want to like give them resources. Because there were a couple games where I'd swing security, hit piercing. It's like I hit a tamer. I hit the Rika. Oh, I hit the I hit whatever tamer my opponent was on, and that did suck. But this makes it so that you don't have to worry about that. We are running one BT8 Lydramon. I hate this card, but this card, it's so valuable because because it fills the same role as this if it's green. If you're doing it for the green side, you're like, all right, cool. I don't have piercing. I don't have to worry about hitting a bomb.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
If it's your blue half, you're like, There's no way on God's green earth am I gonna swing with a pail that doesn't have jamming. It
Yeah.
is going to die 9 times out of 10. Like I'm not going to. If I have Progenitor on board, it's free because it's a free Evo in the Dragon mode.
I hate that card.
But sometimes being able to just Evo, suspended level 4, DNA, swing over that level 4, you know, it is nice.
Oh, you're running 11 fours.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I used to run 14 threes and 12 fours because I just really wanted to see my pieces.
Mm-hmm.
But after going to locals Saturday morning and readjusting the list after that, I went down to the 13 and 11 for some tech that'll come up at the end. Standard pile list for the 5s. I think most people are running 4 BT16,
Mm-hmm.
3 of the starter deck. It's a pretty standard number. This is a house. It's your best card in the deck.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
This deserves to go to 1. It
It's
shouldn't exist. It's like being able to swing twice is fair. This does it. No one complains about this card.
Yeah,
They could reprint this card partition and it'd be fine.
yeah, 100%.
Being able to do that plus stun a board regardless
Yeah.
of anything.
I don't know why they're like, you know what?
Yeah.
It's already good. Let's make it stun the board.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the part that's like this is busted for that reason. Like, yeah, it's source dependent, but if your opponent swung, you just go into this and you say, all right, cool, you don't have to spend.
Ridiculous.
You're just chilling. Yeah. Levels for the level 6s on the Imperial side, we are running 2 BT16 Dragon mode.
Bougie.
Hell yeah, and then 1 starter deck Dragon mode.
I love that card so much. I think that card is still great. Like, who cares that you lose for 4? It's just like it's a lot better now because ever since Progenitor came out, you're Ewing for 2. You split out the 2/4. You can partition again. It's just the card's amazing.
Yeah. This lets you go for game really early because you get to Evo for 4, DNA, swing. You've done 4 checks already.
Yeah, then new pal to protect you win.
Yeah. I had one game where I didn't do that actually. I actually evoed into this and I played out the 3s because I had a Vmon and a Wormon and I just searched more.
Nice.
For sure, I wanted the resources. I want to say that was my round 9 where that happened.
Okay.
And then BT16 Dragon mode is just, it's so good. I always tell people as a courtesy, like, hey, you're aware what this does, right? Like, you know, if you play by effect or Evo by effect, I will get to Evo. And I will clarify, specifically fighter mode. It can be any fighter mode.
It's ridiculous.
I cannot go into paladin mode using this, but I can go into a fighter mode, and then that usually tells people to pump the brakes.
Tamer or Digimon bind effect. That is the ridiculous part. Oh, I hit a Tamer in security. Shoot, I guess I got to go into a fire mode for free. Sorry.
Well, it's only if an effect plays or evos. If I have a tamer.
Oh, plays, not Digimon. My bad. For some reason, I thought it was Tamers too.
No, it's just Digimon. But if I have a tamer, then I can go into the fighter mode.
Mm-hmm.
And for the fighter modes, you're running 2 BT60 fighter mode Ace and 1 BT12 fighter mode.
That's a sleeper card right there.
This is
that card's insane.
Yeah, I would argue it's almost borderline underrated. Like the Ace is nice. There was a line at one point where I was doing a 1/1/1 where the other one was the BT20 RP Imperial.
Which one's that one?
It's the red purple fire mode. The one
on
Evo trashes to security, and then if it trashes to security while you have Dragon mode, you pop a Digimon.
Oh, okay. You kept the Digimon by effects. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The Floodgate one. Yeah. That one came up a little bit when I was doing playtesting for this, but it doesn't apply the same kind of pressure that I want. Like, yeah, you can swing over bodies, but the problem is that, like, you're swinging bodies at 13k. You're not really going to kill big threats doing that. Like, yeah, you'll run over 5s and you run over some 6s, but if your opponent has, like, a big ace or a 7, you kind of just die, and you're really sad about that. Being able to bottom deck and control the board with ace is really, really nice. This came up so many times over the weekend. Because I would just go into any flavor of Dragon mode.
Yep.
And then just add it back to hand, and on the next turn, I'd be like, all right, cool, I'm gonna make a Pale, Evo Dragon mode. We'll do it again.
It's disgusting.
Yeah. Now for the not Imperial stuff. 2 Hexablow. This
Yep.
card's stupid.
Yep.
This card,
Yep. The
this
card
card
is
shouldn't exist in its form.
it's so strong.
My round 5, this was the single best card. Most of the other games on Sunday, it was more of the floodgate. It would eventually get outed. I wasn't too worried about it, but it is a hate magnet. You know, it's like, okay, cool. I can't suspend. I'll play medieval, suspend your Digimon, right? And then I'll just pop the hexaball. Spoiler alert: the hexaball has partition. It's like, all right, cool. You know, I will just DNA gain a bunch of memory.
That is Bloom Lord's like biggest fear. It's like, oh no, I can't play my deck.
Yeah, there were a couple decks that I fought that hexaball kind of just shut it down entirely. The literal war crime in the deck is Medieval Gallant.
Medieval Gallant broken card.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you can Evo over a Pale, trigger, pass turn by playing a rookie, and then pop again. Being able to pop 2 bodies and then vortex over a third is kind of silly.
3 bodies right there. How's it
Or just hard playing it and killing 2 bodies, which is
that's like the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Now, I got Valder on there a few times, and the amount of times they're like on plays don't work. I'm like, it's not an on play, and they're and their hands were like, oh, he's right, die. Like just it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Standard Tamer lineup.
Yep, 2 Davis.
More Daikens.
Ban it. You hear that, Ban? Ban it. Ban or put it to 1. Don't even put it to 1. Ban it. Put it at 1. If you put it at 1, every Imperial game today be first card in security.
True. Alright. Last bit of tech. So we have 2 Return of Progenitor.
Oh, only 2. Okay.
I'm running only 2. I used to run 3. I had to make room for some of the 6s, and this felt like the best option because sometimes this felt like a brick. But being able to Evo into the Dragon mode, or any worst case scenario, if I have a Daiken on board, being able to Evo an XVmon into a Pale. Because I don't care that I don't have the green source. I don't even care that I don't have partition. It's being able to do those checks with jamming.
Yep, there's 2 checks still, yep.
Yeah, and if my opponent's like, alright, cool, I'm going to kill the Pale because it doesn't have partition, it's like, alright, cool, I'm going to Evo a Dragon mode to prevent said deletion. So, and it just came up so many times. And now I have to give a shout out for my boy Soru for selling me on 2 Scramble. Because this is the card that so many people are like, why run this?
Yeah, I was thinking about it too. I was like, why do you need Scramble for? Like,
so it's sometimes being able to just play this out for no effect is a nice way of passing turn. Because if your opponent outs your board on the crackback, you get to put a blue source, which is your XVs, your Paildramons,
your 6s,
your Dragon modes, and like basically all your entire
the good stuff.
The good half, right? You get to put all of your good cards back. And in a worst case scenario, if you have like a rookie that got checked early in security because you're bricked up and you're just trying to find your pieces, it's like, all right, cool, that security check, I'm just gonna play out. I'm gonna put back what you checked in security and play out this Vmon. Search, add what I put on top, and then go that many more cards deep, right? Because again, sometimes it's okay not having the green half, not having the blue half really hurts. It's also the MVP in the Gallant mind games.
Wait, why?
Because so you have a rookie in the back, you have a Scramble live, you have no board, right? Your opponent has a Medieval Gallant. You crack the Scramble, and you.
You bait
You ask your opponent, do you resolve Medieval Gallant? If the answer is yes, alright, cool, Daiken search, do my turn normally. If the answer is no, they don't resolve Gallant. It's like, alright, cool, I'm gonna push out this rookie.
Hey, wait.
I'm just gonna Evo a line, and I'm gonna swing, and then like fighter mode bottom deck the Medieval Gallant. Because you can't leave that on board. It will kill you.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to out the Medieval Gallant before doing anything.
That's funny.
But yeah, I mean, that's the deck. It treated me very well.
Very cool. Again, congrats. There were, for me, I was playing Bloom Lord. I was going to go with XL. At first, I was going to be in Vizzy, then XL, but I didn't want to keep high rolling, so I went with Bloom Lord like last second. You guys followed Jigglypuff. Buff. She sent me a list. She got 18th place. Congrats to her because they were playing Sakuyamon. Just like a last minute list. I looked at it. and I played blue mode in the past. I played rose mode in the past. They're both basically the same deck. Just the top end is different because they both played the
Right.
vegetable engine, and I was just like, you know what, sure, I'll take this. And I ended up going X3 for the entire night. I got one tie.
Mhm.
Um, what do you call it? And so it was fun. So what were you and also going like for all the
Mhm.
tables? I was just like there is a lot of Imperial, Gallant,
Mhm.
and Royal Knights, and I saw a
Yep.
decent amount of Alphamon. Um,
Yeah.
that like it's just but Take My Stars, I didn't have to fight against any Gallants or Imperials. I would auto lost those matches. I don't win. I
Mhm.
can't.
Mhm. Yeah. No.
What were your matchups?
Yeah. Let me pull up my notes real quick.
You're good. You're good.
My round one was a no-show,
That
which
must be nice. Look at that.
see,
She.
I disagree. I really wanted to play there,
No, no, I feel it. I
because
feel
I
it. It's
really,
round
really
one.
wanted to warm up. Yeah, like if I lost, cool. I guess I guess tournament might be a wash, but at least I can relax a little bit.
Hmm.
Versus sitting next to my good friend Angel playing Gallant versus 3 Guard Angels. It's like, all right, cool. I get to watch a game, but I don't get to play, and I really want to play. That's what I came here to do.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
You know. My round two was versus an Alphamon player.
How was that?
I did run into that. Game one, I was able to sort of rush them down because the deck is a little bit on the slower side, right?
Yes.
Game two, I did not see a single Daiken. So I had to be hard playing and hard evoing all my lines. Um, and then they eventually pushed out an Alphamon stack. And I'm like, cool. I'm gonna Hexablow, strip your sources, but I don't want to swing because the moment I do,
Oh, the A's coming down. Yep.
I'm gonna get aced and I'm gonna pass turn and then I'm going to die on the crackback. So I'm like, I'm gonna go slow. When I see a Daiken, I will be able to Evo and I'll be able to strip their sources and everything will be cool beans. That did not happen. In my game two, he actually built a second stack and DNA'd. There were like 20 sources in that stack. Because each turn would be like end of turn, tuck a source, end of turn, tuck a source. He
That's
wouldn't swing. He never
hilarious.
swang because he wanted me to go so he could blast DNA, and it just got out of control real fast.
That's
And in hindsight,
funny.
I probably should have swung, but even if I did swing, I have no way of outing like a full stack Alpha Bond because it has the protection from the stack. So it's like game two was just a wash. I kind of just accepted that, and then game
Mm.
three, I saw. I I think game three it was a slow game, but I think I actually ended up playing all 4 Daikens.
Oh
And
my
I
god.
DNA'd, and I straight up asked the question, how many total sources? 12? Cool. We're gonna
Yeet.
strip all of them. Yeah.
Oh, that's mean.
Yeah. Yeah. That one was a fun one. My round three, which was Numemon.
Oh wow.
I kind of just ran them down.
Hmm.
Because being able to stun their board and kind of swing kind of nice.
Oh
The
yeah,
DP minus does.
you just go
Yeah,
Hexablood.
go.
They can't do anything.
Also true statement. Yes, they have the DP minus the Hexabot to get rid of it. They were running Shadow Seraphis, so that did come up several times. Um, there was almost a problem with the game state that needed a judge call, but we were able to sort of resolve it. Because we were resolving Daikins with a Pillamon on board. Thankfully, the
Ah.
searches were pretty. All the searches were awful, so I was like, okay, it's really easy because these searches were that bad. They're memorable. Like I think one of the searches was a Vmon, reveal, scramble, progenitor, Davis. I was like, okay, cool. I'll add Davis. All right, cool, whatever. And then once we realized we had been playing them, we were like, okay, cool. The Vmon searched this, the Wormmon searched this. We hadn't resolved Wormmon number 3. I'll still play out the bodies because I don't want to do that.
Hmm.
Actually, no. We couldn't play out the bodies by fact. Sorry, I'm stupid. What ended up happening
Oh,
was I think
Pelmon.
he had passed the turn, giving me 5 memory, I believe, and I had gone up a line, bottom deck to Shadow Seraphi, and basically had 9 memory to play with. And so I literally just played all of the rookies and did all the searches anyway. So I was like, okay, cool. We screwed the game state, but we were able to take it back to where it was.
That's nutty.
Like yeah, it was kind of silly. But yeah, I did win it just kind of being quicker.
Hmm.
Uh, round 4 was my only loss,
Which one was
and
that?
I lost. It was for Sakuya. Uh, I lost that round more to myself than anything. Um, like the player was good. He actually ended up getting 10th, I believe.
Oh, nice. Okay.
But like it was more of a loss on my part, and I feel that way because game 1 I opened like I didn't mulligan. I opened 2 4s. Like I opened like everything, like 2 4s, a 5, a 6, and a Davis. And I'm like, I should keep this hand because
Oh
I can
yeah,
play Davis,
that's great.
and I could hopefully get into a single 3, and I get to pop off. Because if I drop the Davis, Evo in the back, Evo for 2, yeah, I pass turn. Who cares at that point? And then on the crackback, hard drop for 4, end of turn DNA, go 5, swing, swing, right? And hopefully by then I'll have drawn some more pieces.
Yeah.
I didn't see a single 3 in like 6 draws.
Oh my god.
So but I think I had like 1 security at that point, and I was just like, all right, cool. I'm just gonna scoop it. Let's go next, right? And my mental at that point was kind of shattered, but like I was like, it's fine. We'll play it out normally. Um, I want to say I got turn 2 ruin moded. I think I got turn 2 ruin moded, and I'm like, I'm gonna Evo in the back. Cool. I have to pass turn again because you know, a -5 again.
You literally can't play. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't play. So at that point, I just kind of I lost really quickly, and I just was like, all right, this is a wash. I'm just gonna go next, right?
Mm-hmm.
My round 6, probably my hardest matchup, was versus Magnamon.
Oh wow,
Magnamon
yeah.
is pretty rough as Imperial because that dude's immune to everything, and he can just block you, and you die, and you're really sad about it. So you
Oh
have to play that
right,
matchup
yeah. You can't even ship
very
his sources with
carefully.
the tamers because he's just like
He's just immune.
immune.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's the blue Magna, for as fast as it is, has its weaknesses. It's easier to deal with than yellow Magnamon base because yellow can crack its own security to gain the immunity. Because I want to say game 1 I lost because he went into an early Magnamon stack, he popped the blinding ray, final Zubagon punched, swung 4 checks, and so like game 1 I just lost real quick. Game 2 Hexablau carried that matchup. Hexablau was the single reason I won that because Magnamon can't swing.
Does
If it has fewer
does
sources.
hex so a hex spell's effect? It's a status effect. The even if the
If he gains the immunity, he can swing.
okay, okay, that's what I was wondering. Okay, okay.
Yeah. But if he doesn't gain the immunity, he can't suspend, right? And that did come up where he did have a Magnamon that gained immunity, and he did swing, and he's like, it's immune to Hexaball. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense because you're immune to my Digimon effects, and that's what Hexaball does. So like, all right, cool. So, but again, game 2, yeah, Hexaball kind of controlled the board. I just kind of I swung, and every time he would threaten blocker, it's one of those things where like you can block the pale. There's a progenitor on board. I'll go to dragon mode, and then Hexaball was just gonna ice cloud over your stack, and then the dragon mode's gonna swing over the stack again, put you back to a Vmon. You know, like it's just it's a slower game I have to play, and I have to make sure that I have outs to the Magnamon on the following turn. I can't play through it. I have to play around it.
No, that was me too. I played against that round 7, I think. And I noticed a difference with Blinding Ray being at 1.
Yeah.
He didn't see game 2 because I got steamrolled, but game 1 and 3, the ones that I won, I won the set. Game 1, it was in his security. Game 3, I bomb decked it, and I was like, I can see the difference because the immunity is not consistent anymore.
Yeah, they need to get that early check-in order to gain it, and if they don't, it just kind of sits there. Game 3 was wild though, because as I mentioned earlier in the deck profile, it's like, cool, I'm gonna go Vmon, Stingmon, draw 4 on the first attack, draw 3 on the second attack. So 7 cards in a turn is pretty nutty. On top of any searching that you do the past turn. That almost bit me really hard.
Oh, don't mistake out.
Because yes, I want to say I was at 0 security. He had 1 security. I had a fighter mode stack, a Hexablow stack,
Jesus.
and a Pale stack. Like I had a very well established board. The problem is the board itself was very fragile because it was starter deck. It was starter deck,
Pelgemon?
Paljamon,
Okay.
yeah, and then it was fighter mode Ace. So it's like if I swing with this fighter mode and I die, I just pass turn. I don't want to swing into the Magnamon because he's
Mm-hmm.
at 13k DP off the egg alone, and he could just let the security go through, gain the immunity, and then block my fighter mode. So I had to do checks almost exclusively with Pales after a certain point, and I ended up only having 2 cards in deck. And I'm like, I need to play this turn very carefully so that I don't pass turn with 1 card in deck, because if I go Ace next turn, because I had a fighter mode Ace in hand, I didn't
Oh,
want
that
to
draw
like
one, yeah.
Ace draw 1 and then have 0 cards in deck. I needed to have that 1 card in deck. And on the crackback, literally like the last cards in deck, he goes Wisteria Memory Boost, reveals, I forget what, it's Omekamon, Omnimon X, and something else, and my heart just dropped in that moment because he's at 1 security and I have 0 security.
You're like,
And
that's it?
Omekamon wins him the game. He adds the Omni X, and I'm just like, I lose. It's over. I'm cooked. Pass his turn. He didn't
Wait,
have the Omeka.
oh my god.
Yeah. I was terrified in that moment because he Paladin mode me too at one point, and I
Oh.
was afraid of that too. Because the Magnamon, you can go into so many of the better level 7s Paladin mode, or just going into Omni X is just so good. But yeah, that was my hardest matchup, definitely. My round 6, shout out to the homie Nick. It was the mirror, and I didn't want to play the mirror.
Oh, right, because
Especially
he was saying Imperial too, huh?
Yeah, he was playing Imperial too. I didn't want to play it versus a friend. You know, he's a good player. I just drew better.
Yeah, that basically it. It's just like who's got a high roll. That's it.
Yeah. Because the Imperial Mirror is also just miserable. Because like, all right, cool. I'm gonna go pale, swing on the crackback. Cool. I'm gonna go pale. I'm gonna strip your pale sources. You don't unsuspend. I'm gonna swing. I don't unsuspend. Cool. It really just comes down to tamer control at that point. Like who goes into dragon mode, who taps the Ken Davis, who bottom decks the Ken Davis using Hexablow. It's an interesting mirror, if not miserable. My round 7 was my redemption versus Sakuya though.
Nice.
Yeah. That one was an interesting build. He was playing some of the, I think it's the promo Shumon, the one that makes a token.
Shumon?
Yeah,
Jigglypuff was talking about that. Like, so the worst Akuma played. That's the security effect. Not security effect. No, I think it is security effect. That
No, that's starter deck 1, I believe. The security effect, play out a Shumon or play out a Liberator. I forget what it is.
I thought it was. There
But
was
no,
a.
it's
But
a
yeah,
promo. It's a promo
It makes
Shumon
a
that
token.
makes a
Yeah.
token. It makes a token with on deletion minus 3k, which my brain did not process because he had an established board. I Evo Pale, I swing into the token with piercing. The token gives my Pale minus 3k, and I check security. Nothing's there. I think it was a Sakuya, right? And in that moment, my heart sinks because I realize if I hit a security plugin in security, I get minus 6k. I die. I don't have a second Pale in hand. I need to just Evo Dragon Mode and pass turn. I don't want the smoke. I would rather have him work for it. And thankfully, I didn't see that many ruin modes that game, but I was able to just sort of run him down at that point. And then my round 8, I gotta give another shout out to Kevin, our second place winner for regionals, because it was also a Leviathan player. So I am very familiar with that matchup. I had I think game 1 I had I just went fast. I just went pale, swing. He couldn't build up a board fast enough to deal with the stack. A single Biting Crush probably would have won him the game, even though it gives me all that much memory, because now my Daikens are off. I can't Daiken without fear of getting Leviathan. And then worse, Leviathan X or something. Although I did have a very interesting judge call in game 2.
Okay.
Because I remember quickly, I had a Davis on board. I didn't have an established stack. I think he outed the stack. And I Evo Vmon in the back. I Evo X Vmon in the back. So I have 1 memory. I call a judge. Like, before I do anything, I just call a judge. And I tell the judge straight up, like, I'm going to be playing this Medieval Gallant right now. Am I allowed to suspend his 2 Digimon on board, even though currently he has a Psychmon on board, so I can't reduce the play cost? Because if I'm allowed to suspend the Digimon, I get to out both bodies, and I give him 10 memory. If I'm not allowed to suspend the Digimon, okay, cool, I'll only kill one body, right? And it's cool, fine, but I still deal with a 5 stack on the board, and he doesn't have an egg in the back. So it puts him in a situation where it's like, okay, do you Evo over the Psychmon, or do you start hard playing, making a new stack in the back? The judge said, yes, you're allowed to do the suspend, and then you won't get the reduced play cost. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna do that. Pop the Cerberusmon, run over the Psychmon with Vortex.
That's funny.
And so he's at 10 memory. I guess he didn't have anything in hand Levia wise, so he just hard drops another Cerberusmon for 8. I'm like, all right, cool, zap.
Dies. He was like, oh.
Well, he knew it was gonna happen. I just don't think he had he had anything. So it's like, cool, I gotta do something about it. He just didn't have it, right? I just kind of put him in a checkmate situation there, because on the crackback, I'm like, all right, cool, I'm gonna Evo, swing again, you know.
And then your last round?
My favorite round was versus a Safagamon player.
Dang.
He had the spice, he had the sauce. The moment he revealed the Fluffymon, I was so happy. I'm like, I don't care if I lose right now, because that was the deck I was gonna play if Imperial got hit harder.
How is that matchup? It was all like the Digimon protection that he gets.
So it's funny you bring that up, because that came up. That came up so many times. So if he had a Grand Gale into a Zafaga, or even just a Grand Gale by himself with the immunity Digimon effects, I can't do anything about it while they're active, right? But if they're already suspended, they still don't unsuspend, right? Because the immunity ends at the turn. So it's like, cool, you gain the immunity, you don't unsuspend. Because Zafagamon reads, when a Digimon unsuspends, gain the immunity, gain 3 KDP. Zafagamon does not unsuspend when that happens. So I would swing at security, Zafagamon would gain the immunity, but he'd still be suspended. So I'd be like, alright, cool, I'm just gonna keep swinging, I don't care about your Zafagas.
Wait, what?
Zafagamon Ace does not unsuspend when he gains his immunity. It's not Magna. It only gains immunity, and it only gains DP.
Wait. The Pokemon Ace doesn't gain immunity. Are you talking about the structure deck one?
No, yeah, I'm talking about the structure deck one.
Oh, structure deck. Yeah, okay, you said Ace. My bad.
No. Because the threat of the Ace is still there, though. Sorry if I might have said Ace, but the threat of the Ace is there, because if he gains the immunity, he can then go into the Ace. The Ace has the immunity for the turn, and he gets to suspend my Digimon and then unsuspend, and now he has a blocker. And that came up maybe like once, but it wasn't too bad. If I remember correctly, I think I won game 1, I lost game 2, and then I won game 3. Although game 3, he did a little bit of a misplay at the end. I had memory choked him, and he had a training in the back, but he evoed. Sorry, he had a training. He had the Pteramon that reduces the evo cost.
Yeah.
He ended up cracking the training to evo into a 4, and I'm like, no, you don't want to do that. You evo for 1. Why would you? You could crack the training and then go into the 5.
Yeah.
And he kind of realized it too late, and I was like, listen, I know we're having fun, but it is round 9, table 4.
Top table.
I let you take it back, but not right now.
Yep.
And after that, it was just kind of a nice win. The guy was really nice. Shout out to him. He had the Zafaga Ace, which I've been hunting for, and he wasn't gonna sell it. And I told him it's fine, you know. It's like, you clearly love the deck, and I wouldn't do that to you, you know. He had some really nice spice. I want to see if I can get a hold of his list and play that. There was some really cool tech that I respect. What did he do? Sorry, I'm trying to remember the sequence of events, because I really like this play and I really want to try it. He DG bursted into an Argomon, BT2 Argomon.
Okay, that's a 1.
Yeah. And then he evoed into EX7 Zafagamon, tapped the Tamer to unsuspend to go Vortex, right? And then on the attack, would declare the Argomon inheritable to play out a body. Oh, actually, no, wait, no. Yeah, he would play out a body,
A rookie.
and so yeah, so he played out the body. He would do searches, and I think he added the ace at that point too. So I was like, oh, damn! You not only get to clear my board, but now you have an ace in hand.
That's dirty.
Yeah. But yeah, that was all my matches. I really didn't think I'd win based on the standings. When we were talking with the Cycle Turtle family, it was like, I think I got second. I think I got third.
But then like you found out that our other friend and the other guy that they both tied the undefeateds.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
that's when I saw you're like, I have a chance.
Yeah, the moment I saw that they had tied was like, wait, there's a world where this plays out. There's a world where I'm playing at table 1 and I take the whole thing. The moment I got table 4, I was like, okay, maybe we didn't win. Maybe we'll get second. Maybe we'll get third, right? Like, there's no way we win, the moment I heard the entirety of our group just screaming their collective minds off while I'm sitting there waiting for the page to load, I'm like, okay, one of us won. And then everyone's around me, and I'm like looking at my phone to just finally load it. And I'm just like, oh,
I won.
I won. Oh, it still hasn't sunk in on some level,
Yeah.
I woke up this morning, I thought I dreamed the whole thing, and then I see the playmat sitting on my desk, and I'm like, oh, I really didn't dream that shit, It happened.
Well, congrats on your win.
Thank you.
I think the venue was fine. Venue was fine. Everything was fine. The only downside of the service was horrible. It was horrendous.
Being underground sucked.
That was honestly probably the worst thing about the entire event. Just the service is bad. But I feel like the judges were a lot better this time.
Yeah.
I only caught a judge for one thing. And I was like round 1. But yeah, it was chill. It didn't smell, thank God.
True.
It did not smell. It was great. But yeah, congrats to your win. You have your Nats invite. Hopefully it's in California. But I have for some reason I'm like, what if like Bandai just throws a curveball and says, hey, it's gonna be in Texas? I'm like, no, don't put it in Texas. It's the one in California.
I wanted in California, but honestly, if I had to like put money on it, I would say Texas is probably a likely option.
Yeah.
We've already had 2 in LA. We've had 1 in Orlando. Dallas is like the next big place where they hold these events. So it's like, all right, it's probably Dallas, which would be fun.
But fingers crossed, it's California again. But yeah, this is your 2025 Pasadena first place champion right here. He did it with Blue Green Imperial. Honestly, I was not expecting that deck to even win. I thought there was going to be a lot more Gallant players, and because I was like, I think Gallant steamrolls Imperial because it's like, hey, I'm gonna partition. As I say, I'm gonna partition. I don't care your partition. I'm still gonna kill your board, and so.
Imperial Gallant is straight up. You've got 2 people with helmets on. The other guy's helmet is harder.
Yeah. But yeah, all right, guys. I hope you guys all enjoyed this interview and the mini deck profile really quick. And again, Mio, congrats for winning. And I will see everybody guys next time. Oh, any shout outs you want to do?
Too many to count. I do gotta thank everybody who plays at Cycle Turtle. I only recently got into the game. If not for them and being like arguably like the best and strongest locals in SoCal, I would not have gotten nearly as good as I am right now. I had to learn a lot of game sense and mind games just by playing at them as much as humanly possible. I gotta give a shout out to the guys at Perfect Rares. They're the homies. They help me out all the time with some of the little techs. Soru, as I mentioned earlier, gave me the scramble tech. The scramble tech is literally what won me the whole thing. I owe him a dinner at this point. The last shout out to I gotta thank my friends and family for supporting me through all this. McDonald's for feeding me that day because I bought. You don't understand. Like I bought food for breakfast, obviously, and then I bought enough McDonald's to get me through the rest of the day. As the day progressed, and I was talking to people, the amount of people that were on fumes from hunger
Oh yeah,
was like
I
nutty.
was just so hungry.
Yeah. Everyone is starving there. Meanwhile, me, I'm eating like a breakfast sandwich at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Like I'm chill. I'm wide awake. I'm alert. I'm focused. We're chill. I bought fruit snacks. I brought water. I needed more water. By the end of the day, my throat was just dry.
Mm-hmm.
Every other word, it felt like I was gonna gag on my own tongue, and I just needed more water.
All right,
But
guys.
yeah, I gotta thank all the homies.
All right, and congrats, guys. Congrats. Enjoy your stuff. Enjoy your cards. And now all you have to do is win that. It's easy peasy.
Yeah, easy street. Yep.
All right. I'll see you guys next time.